Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my boy vibing. That's right.
That shit slide every time, bro. Pause.
uh, Dude, back to the grind, bro. I'm happy to be back, brother.
Yes,
But
sir.
man, we are back. It is another great Wednesday evening, and we have a very special episode on the way for BTB. It's your boy Mike, aka Mike Valley. I'm here with my dog Raider Trey 540. My bad if I don't seem as high energy today, guys. I'm a little jet lagged. I'm fresh off a New York trip, but the grind don't stop, man. You already know how it is. No matter what, I'm gonna try to. We're gonna try our best to put out the best quality content we can for Raider Nation. So yeah, man, we here.
Yes,
Let's get to
sir.
it. And shoot, let's say what's up to the chat. Let's see who we got in the chat. We already know. So, I'm not shocked by this one. The first person in the building, Mama Majors. We appreciate you.
What's
You
up,
already
Mom?
know. Appreciate you, Mama. Much love. We appreciate you tapping in. And, oh yeah, we definitely gonna talk football today, Mom. We for sure talking football.
It's
We got a
time.
lot to talk about this week.
Yeah,
Finally, the boys are back. The boys are
yeah.
back.
They
We
back on
ready.
the grass, baby.
Yeah, my dog Prez. You're welcome. Yes, sir. This is a
Yes,
very
sir.
special episode, and we got a very special guest in the building. And as I said, I got a little jet lag, but I'm sure this guy got a lot of experience and is very familiar with being jet lagged with all the traveling this man does. Now, this is a very special guest. I've been looking forward to having this. I know BTB, the audience, Raider Nation, y'all been excited about this one too. Ooh, it's happening this time. We definitely have the guy in the building. It's confirmed. Our guy's backstage, and yeah, I, this is Raider royalty in my opinion. This is when it comes to Raider Nation. This is royalty. This is one of our key members of the fan base, and rightfully so. This past season, he set some Guinness World Records in fan attendance for attending. I believe the most games. My bad if I butchered it and said it wrong, but I believe the most games in the season, and then the fastest I believe to make that happen too. Like that's impressive.
Yeah.
Without further ado, our guy. Some may know him as All in Autumn Wind, also Brian Fowler, but it's only right we're gonna bring in our guy Brian All in Autumn Wind.
Black team, what's up,
Yes,
guys?
sir.
How's it going?
Oh yeah,
What's happening? What's
appreciate you,
happening?
brother. We appreciate you for
Sir.
joining us this evening, man.
It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
sir. Thank you for
yeah,
blessing us with your presence, man.
yeah. Shoot,
Nah, hey man, I love being here, and we're all in this together, right? We've had a lot of tough years, but things are turning around. We're gonna be in this positive era together too, so I'm looking forward to
yeah,
it.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. Finally.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. Pause. Like we've been working out to get to this, hopefully, because I'm 31 years old, so it's been a cool minute since I've seen something really exciting as a Raider fan. Like I want to say
Yeah.
like maybe elementary school. So
Yeah.
like
Sometimes
to
I feel
know,
like the old lady from Titanic, the meme. It's been 84 years. Like that's,
yeah,
but we've had some flashes here and there. It's just, we
yeah,
haven't had consistency, we haven't had stability, but I feel it. I feel it in my bones. It's coming.
Yeah,
yeah,
this is where we're at now. I think that's the exact situation that we're coming into is consistency, and we're about to start seeing some good product put on the grass.
Can't wait.
I agree.
Can't wait.
I agree with. Yeah, and a big talk about that obviously is our rookie quarterback, Fernando
Mhm.
Mendoza. Now, I, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was a little skeptical going into the process just because I'm like, well, nobody was really talking about this kid until this year. Like, are we sure? Like, this is the guy, this, that. Like, I had my question marks, but it wasn't like I think the kid sucks or he stinks or nothing like that. It's just like, are we sure this is the guy? Like, this is a very big decision. Like, it's not every day that we just land as the number one overall pick. So we got to make sure if this is gonna be the first time or the it's gonna be a long time till we get this opportunity again. We got to take full advantage and make sure we got the guy.
Well, let's hope it's a long time, right? Because if we get the
Yeah,
first pick again, that means something's gone wrong. But
yeah,
yeah, but I think you're right about that. Because he was at Cal before, and I think part of that is the conference that he's in and the team he's on. Like when he was on Cal, people weren't paying as much attention. But one year, Indiana, uh, you know, going undefeated, winning the Heisman, winning the national championship. That's a pretty good resume. So
yeah,
we'll see. I know we're all still a little scarred from 2007. I think it was the Marcus pick, but that kind of lives with you. But I think this one's different. I think you could just see it in his character, his attitude, his communication, his desire to learn and win. I don't think if they give him an empty playbook like they gave Jamarcus Russell, I think he'd figure out that something's wrong.
Yeah,
yeah,
he works too hard.
yeah.
He
I
works.
also feel like part of the reason why the whole Jamarcus thing may have went down the way it did too is also back then, like times were a little different when it came to college football, where kids weren't exactly getting paid like that to play football.
Mm,
So some of them, you get me, they may not come from the best upbringing, so they may not come from a family with money. So this is a life changing money, and to some, especially the first overall pick,
yeah,
you're set
that's
for
a good
life. So
point.
you get me, like at that point, you probably feel like, man, I made it. Like I can't nobody tell me nothing at that point. Which maybe that was the mindset Jamarcus had, where with Fernando and other players that are a part of this newer generation of college football going into the draft, they're already getting money. So to them, this is nothing new. They're like, all right, cool. Next step. Like we're used to this already.
Yeah, let's
So
hope.
I feel like that could also play a part, and also maybe the upbringing too.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think about seeing him in the Raiders gear? He's put it on. There's been a lot of videos and pictures out
Yeah.
there.
Oh yeah. Let me actually pull that one up right now. 1 second.
That was a
I know a lot of people wanted to talk about that for sure, because I
that
believe
was
it was last weekend was the rookie premiere, right?
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude,
Oh
shout
yeah,
out.
the helmet.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Shout out. My fault. Didn't mean to cut you off there. Shout out my guy Samoan Raider for actually pulling up to the event. That was dope. That was
Yeah.
Yeah.
dope. I don't know if it was the team or Fanatics, whoever it was that made that happen for my guy. Though, like, that's awesome.
I think it was
That's awesome.
Fanatics. Yeah, he got to hang out with Fernando and Washington as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
dope.
that's cool right there, man. It is.
Oh yeah. Let me see here. Where is this?
It was good to see him in the Raider gear finally, like for like the last 5 or 6 weeks of the season. Like that's all we heard. Like we're drafting Mendoza #1.
Yeah.
So like it's been hyped up that long. So to finally see it like actually, come to fruition when we seen him and Washington put the silver and black on. Yeah,
Yeah.
that definitely was a sight to see at that time.
Yeah.
Did you on the draft night when we were picking him? Did you guys have any doubt whatsoever in your mind that we would not pick? I mean, I knew 100%, but I was in Pittsburgh and there were people around me like, "What are you going to do? Are you going to take Fernando?" And I looked at him like, "What are you talking about? Of course we're taking Fernando. It's like the worst secret kept in the league, you know."
I feel like but that also probably has to do with because a lot of us, like I grew up in LA, so there are a lot of Raider fans out here, but there's also like we grew up with friends that support other teams as well, so they like to banter and talk a little shit. So a lot of other teams always have that mindset with us when it comes to the Raiders, where it's like, oh, it's the Raiders. They're always going to
we're gonna screw it up.
A poor decision. Yeah, we're gonna fuck things up. So that they're probably trying to mess with us right there. But no, honestly, I would say at least a month before I was already like confirmed in my mind, like, yeah, he's the pick.
Yeah,
like, ain't nothing I can do whether I agree with it or not. Eventually, I did agree with it. Like I thought he was a good quarterback. It's just for me, it's more questions like, are we sure he's the guy? Like I just want to make sure we get it right because I know some people love Derek, some mixed opinions, but for me, like I really to me the last real great quarterback to me was Rich Gannon. So that's why it's like, man, like I really want to see a true franchise guy, like a guy that's gonna like take us over the top. So that's what I was really hoping for. So I'm like, I hope this guy is him, and I feel like that's the mindset. Whether people love Fernando or they hate him, like we all have the same thought process. I hope this kid's good. I hope he helps us win.
But that's interesting you say that because I've not heard one person, Raider fan or a fan of somebody else, who says that they hate Fernando. Like he's kind of, I don't know, he's a little bit of he's a celebrity already, just going through the airport, going anywhere. He gets mobbed and like, no, everybody at the draft and other cities were just like, I hope Fernando works out. I hope it goes well. He's a great kid, Yeah. I don't know. Maybe some people from Ohio State don't like him, but outside of that, he seems pretty likable.
Yeah, it seems hard to not like the kid. Now, maybe some people may feel indifferent about maybe the style of play. That was me at first. I've always I was more of like I prefer like the more like actual dual threat, like the flashy quarterback. But we don't really see that style quarterback win too much. And my guys, Trey and my other buddy, Raider Rundown, had all offseason were in my ear telling me like, nah, bro, like that. You got to understand, like that's not the only way you can win games. Like you can win as a straight pocket quarterback too. And I was like, you're right. Like, you know what? I have to reconsider it. And that's where I was like, you know what? Like if he's the guy, like, okay, like I can't be a negative Nancy here. Like he's going to be dying the silver and black. Like he's our guy now. So I got to support him.
He's our guy. He's our QB1. But, like Brady won a lot, obviously, and he didn't run too much. But one thing that I absolutely loved was not only Fernando winning the championship, but he basically won it on a run, and one of the craziest runs in, college history. Like that people will remember
that. That was a crazy run. Yeah.
So it was great because, like, he's not seen as a running quarterback, but he still, like, gave everything into that run to make it into the end zone. It was great to see.
Our ticket for the draft went in that night. They just couldn't say it.
And that's where it was interesting because, like, that was my gripe too. Where it's like, okay, like it's not a lot of like flashiness. Like he seemed more of like a game manager type quarterback throughout the season. But as the playoffs started happening, he kept having clutch moment after clutch moment. And obviously, the big run in the national championship game that capped it all off. Where it's like, yeah, man, like you can't deny it. Like this kid's clutch. He has that clutch gene.
He also, what got me was the game before that they demolished Oregon in the Peach Bowl, and I went to that game, and his accuracy was insane that game. I mean, he had like 5 touchdowns, but it was these, it was these like 8-yard passes out to the sideline where he had a very small window, and he just kept putting it right there. It was just unbelievable to watch that, and I was maybe a little bit more excited about that game and what he did to Oregon than what he did in the championship game. But also, championship games, just like any sport, like NBA playoffs are going on right now. When you get to the finals, the scoring's a lot lower than the regular season because everything tightens up. Every possession matters, and baseball's that way too. So I'm not surprised that the national championship championship was the numbers weren't like mind blowing, right? His stats weren't crazy, but he won. And you know what we say, just win, baby. So that's what we need.
100%.
Facts.
100%. But yeah, man, we gotta go back. I can't get over like the fact the way his helmet just looks crazy.
Yo,
I don't know. Is it the face mask? What is it? I don't know.
I'm not sure it fits, but I think it's also the
Yeah.
angle. Like, you know, they're kind of taking that picture from underneath him, and it does look funny. It looks goofy.
It makes it look kind of like he's wearing. No disrespect to Fernando when I say it, but it looks like he's wearing like a softball helmet, like the helmets that they wear when they're batting in softball. It's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's wild.
Dude, that looked like a bicycle helmet with a face mask. Oh man, but honestly, I feel like a lot of people say it's a punter face mask, but maybe he's using it just so that because usually their face masks are a little like wider, maybe just to like give them a bigger like space to view.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just think if that's the case, he might need to put a visor possibly because that's a lot of space for people if he gets tackled. God forbid it happens too often, but if he gets sacked or something, like somebody could try and rake at his eyes.
Now that I think about it, that looks like the face mask that Jalen Hurts has. Jalen Hurts has the big wide open, but he has the visor on it, but he has the big wide open face mask like that.
I think I have a side profile view of the helmet too. Like, yeah, I don't know. It looked crazy.
It looks like it's supposed to come down just a little bit more.
Like the Pop Warner kids, where it's like, hey man, like you didn't tie your chin strap all the way or something. Like it, yeah, that's crazy.
It looks like that kid that's running with the football, and the football is almost as big as him, and the helmet.
I mean, there's something.
It's like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
There's something some people may always question, laugh about somebody's appearance, but hey, if he likes it and he's comfortable, and as long as he's producing wins, I don't mind. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like a good example of that is like Aaron Rodgers when he played. Like I always thought it looked funny. He had that one chin strap, and it's like, bro, like does that even protect you? Like that looks like there's no padding at all. Like what? It looks like you're just wearing like a cloth just on your chin, and that's it. But hey, if it works, it works, I guess.
That was the chin straps they had when we were coming up.
But I've never seen it like just the one strap. I've seen like the two straps or even the three, but not just one. Like that was crazy to me when I seen it.
Yeah.
Very old school.
Yeah, that's Aaron Rodgers for you.
Hey, well, at least he's staying true to himself with that one. But man, I'm excited though. Obviously, besides Fernando, OTA started this. Oh shoot, OTA started this week. We are officially getting a little bit closer to kickoff, guys. We're getting a little bit closer to kickoff, and yeah, I think is it this week officially that they count as like practices where the rookies and the vets meet up? Because I know I've seen some clips of them like practicing or working out together before. Are those considered official like practices, or is today like officially like now they're considered practice?
I want to say today.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's mandatory now or if it's still optional. I haven't looked at the schedule in a while.
No, it's still voluntary right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay.
N'Kobe Dean and the slot corner that we got.
Oh yeah.
Johnson. Neither one of them were there.
Oh yeah, and
Johnson's holding out for money apparently.
Yeah, we'll get into that right now. Also, shout out Jalen Naylor. So he wasn't there, but good reasoning for why him and his wife welcomed a child into the world. I believe yesterday. So congratulations to them or over the weekend.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a blessing for sure. Congratulations to the Naylor family. But yeah, so there's some reasons where, like we said, it's voluntary. So it's some people, they want to spend a little extra time with their family before it's time to like fully lock in. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna be gone for a while. or my focus is going to be right here. So enjoy this time while you can.
Yeah.
I get it. Like I can't be mad at people for that, especially like the veterans. But for some players, it's like, come on, man. Like I get it if you have a lot going on, but if you're like a young player, or you got to be there. But from what seems like it's a good showing for the most part. It's a good showing this period of OTAs, like a good percentage of the team showing up. But yeah, Taron Johnson actually, Brian had mentioned, he's currently in a contract dispute due to majority of his guaranteed money already being over with. Now, I don't know. How do you feel? Do you think this results in an extension or a revised deal?
I think it's likely. I think Spy Tuck will make something happen. You know, it's tough when you make a trade for someone, right? And then they want to talk about their contract, but you know, I don't think it's anything to worry about. I think they'll get it sorted.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, me personally, I'm not giving you no more money till you prove to me, because Buffalo was about to cut you, and we
Yeah.
pick swap with them, and you still gonna make 18 million this year. Now, granted, it's not guaranteed, but your health was a problem. So
Yeah.
we need you to show us that you can be healthy and earn this $18 million, and then you can get like a Eric Stokes type of deal where you proved yourself, you played healthy the whole season. So yeah, we'll pay you now.
Yeah. So Prez got a good question. He said the contract he is on currently is from the Bills, correct? Yeah, that's currently the Bills contract that we took on. So it is definitely possible that we could see an extension for Taron Johnson, but I wouldn't be shocked either if John Spytek sticks to his guns and says, you know what, man, like F that, like you're under contract already. Um, Either you play through it, or if you don't like it, you could go somewhere else. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, I get it. He's a Pro Bowl caliber corner, but we didn't really spend much on him either in that trade value. I believe it was a day 3 pick. So it's not going to hurt us too bad if we move on. And I feel like that's also possibly why he picked up the other Arizona safety, so that we have a backup plan just in case he doesn't end up staying with the team.
Yeah, we drafted a bunch of DBs, man. So
Mm-hmm.
we got people that if you don't want to play here, shoot, we'll put one of these young boys in and let them develop. You know, see where they're at.
Yeah, and I believe he said it. I don't know if Kubiak said it while he was with Seattle or if once he got here, but I remember hearing him say something where he has the mindset of, if you don't want to do the job or you can't do the job, don't worry, I'll find somebody that will.
Yeah.
And that's the right mindset to have. I don't know if you guys had seen earlier in the presser when they asked him his thoughts on Fernando actually with the rookie showcase and his acting. And with a dead serious look, he said, I'd much rather he focus on football. Everybody in the room was laughing, but he looked dead serious. I don't think he was joking when he
He's
said
not
it.
joking. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably annoyed by that. Yeah, hey, Kirk Cousins was pretty good in the schedule release. His acting was not too bad for a football player.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out Prez with this comment. He said also congrats to Kobe Dean as well. His wife got her degree today from college. Okay.
Yeah, shout out to Kobe Dean, man. Go Dogs. Go
awesome.
Dogs.
Oh yeah, my guy Trey here. He's our resident Georgia Bulldog. He was loving free agency. He definitely loved free agency and all the signs we made.
Yes, sir.
Oh gosh, seriously, like our free agency, to have a draft and a free agency in the same year, that was really, really good. I mean, there's a lot of times our draft, you know, we've had some issues, like the last 5 drafts. Like look at the first round pick and see how many are still on the team, you know. But have a good draft and a good free agency in the same offseason is just like unbelievable for Raider fans.
Yeah.
But those, I'm really the linebackers. I just, you know, getting Dean and Quay to have solid linebackers like that. I don't remember a time recently where we had 2 like really solid inside middle linebackers. You know, there'll be times we have like a Spillane or somebody out there that we really like, but like these guys are solid.
across
can't
the
believe
board.
how much we went for on defense in free agency and then more defense in the draft. I really thought we would kind of pivot in the draft to maybe more like receivers or linemen, but it was still a lot of defenders in the draft. So this is going to be interesting. And we kept Maxx too. So look at that.
Oh yeah. We got to ask you that as well. How did you feel about when the trade first went down, and then when the trade ended up they pulled the Uno reverse card on us, and they sent Maxx back to Vegas.
Reverse.
It was exactly. It was such a roller coaster. I think that we had been hearing rumblings about maybe Maxx wanting out and he might get traded. So there's a little bit of mental preparation. So when it finally happens, you just start moving towards, okay, well, we got 2 first-round draft picks out of the deal, and that means we'll have 2 picks this year. So we got Fernando at 1 and then somebody else at 14 it was going to be. Like, I started thinking about that and try to, Maxx was great with us and I'm really sad and I don't want him to go, but what are you going to do? It's been really rough. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
When that thing got flipped, man, it was confusing. It was something that I hadn't really seen before. Just that high. I've seen trades not go through before, but that high profile was insane. That was crazy. It was shocking.
Yeah, I was definitely shocked by that too. I was really sad about like it happening when we first traded Maxx away, because to me that's the heart and soul of our team. Like that at the moment, that was the current face of the franchise. So I was like, that doesn't feel right. Like just moving on from a guy like that. Like everybody says he is the epitome of what, and the true definition of what it means to be a Raider. So to get rid of that, I'm like, what does that mean now? Are we gonna like redefine what a Raider is? Like it didn't feel right. Like it didn't sit right with me. So those couple of days, like we did a podcast, like a reaction episode, like the moment after it happened, where I felt like I handled it well. I was able to process it, but the next couple of days, I was like, it was just bothering me. I was like, man, like nah, this don't. And then when free agency happened that first day, I was excited, but I was like, this don't feel right. Like Maxx deserves to be here and see a defense like this. This don't feel right. We did our free agency episode, and we had just finished, and maybe like 20 minutes later, I was talking to our producer Prez, and he was like, dude, no way. I was like, what are you talking about? And then a bunch of people started blowing up my phone, and they were like, what does this mean? I read it, and I was like, wait, the trade, there's no more trade. I was excited immediately. I was like, nah, dude, we have to go live again. Forget that. We're going live again. It was in the morning. We were live for like almost 6 hours that day. It was crazy.
It was.
Mike can actually hold his mic like how you're holding yours now.
Yeah.
Because of that time.
It's still here. Let me see if it's still right here. So I used to originally have a microphone stand right here. I was so excited. I accidentally broke it off like the hinge of the thing. And I was like, oh crap. And I was so hyped at that point, like during the show, like when it happened, I spiked this the microphone stand like Gronk. So now I have to do just like you. I gotta hold the microphone. A lot of people say it looks like I'm doing wrestling promos.
Yeah. The other thing is I really wish we played the Ravens this season. We don't, unfortunately, but like hearing Maxx talk about that whole, how it went down and how they treated him at the facility it's so clear that Ravens already knew they were going through with it and they were just going through the motions of bringing him in and doing all this. It was really dirty stuff, dirty business.
That'd be the perfect team to just win that first playoff game in years against.
Oh, hey, maybe this year.
That'd be perfect, man.
And the one thing I will say is like Maxx already would always go off when he would play Baltimore. It's like, man, like y'all just gave him even more motivation. So the next time we see you guys, like it's gonna get ugly.
Could you imagine Maxx and Linderbaum against the Ravens in the playoffs this year? That would be ridiculous.
Yeah. I hope to see some playoff wins. I really do hope to see some playoff wins. So last week we actually had the schedule release. And I don't know, man. It's just crazy. No primetime games. Now, for someone like yourself that attends a lot of games, is this a blessing or a curse in your opinion, like when it comes to travel wise?
I always try to look at the silver lining, and I think it sucks to not have any primetime games, especially I think for the fan base, because those are a different atmosphere. The way the lights hit the silver on our helmets looks different. It night games got a vibe to it, From the team's perspective and where we are and how bad we were last year. Listen, no international games, no primetime games, which means no short weeks. And the other thing is that the NFC division we're playing is the NFC West, which means San Francisco and Phoenix. So for a West Coast team, our travel is lower than it usually is. We don't have any short weeks and we don't have any international, which means the team week to week, they know they're playing Sunday at 1:00 every single week. I mean, it might be 1:00 Eastern, which is 10 here, but it's still 1:00 local time, right?
Yeah.
That kind of consistency and that schedule, they're not going to have short weeks. They're going to get into a groove. So I'm trying to think about it in a positive way for the team and the players, that this will be a good thing. And also our bye week is a little bit later. I always hate it when our bye week is early because we don't need it yet. We need it later, So I actually like the structure of our schedule a lot. Unfortunately, we play 7 playoff teams. I can't remember exactly how many, but there's a lot of good teams. The NFC West dominated the league last year. So we're going to have Rams, Niners, Seahawks. That's really tough. That's a tough schedule.
I do know for sure we're definitely in the top 10 when it comes to strength of schedule. It's pretty bad. I believe we are actually, we have the seventh highest percentage.
Okay.
Yeah, we have the seventh toughest.
But there's also some winnable games. There's about 6 games there where it's like the Saints. I mean, they'll be improved this year, but still, they're trying to fight. I think opening at home with the Dolphins is great. I think that's a winnable game. Obviously, nothing's guaranteed, but at home, we haven't had a home game opener since 2021. And every year that I've been doing All In Autumn Wind, every year has started on the road and every year has ended at home. And this year, finally, it's the reverse. We start at home and we end in KC. So I'm excited about kicking it off at home, and maybe we can finally win a home opener for once, because the last several years it's been really sad. You get so pumped and hyped, and then, was it last year? No, it was the year before. We got blown out by Carolina. It was like
it was a year
Panthers.
before.
Come on, guys.
That was brutal.
It was terrible.
It was after 2 weeks on the road. The last time we won a home opener, we had it in week 1.
That's right, Baltimore, right?
Every year, I'm always hesitant. Like you said, when it comes to the home opener, I've yet to attend one in Vegas. I want to attend one, but I'm very hesitant just because it's it's cool to see everybody and catch up and stuff. But the part that sucks is we're paying top dollar to attend this game, and we show up, but is the team going to show up that day? And we don't want to. I don't want to get embarrassed knowing damn, man, this is how we're starting off the year. We're supposed to set the tone the right way. This is not how I expect us to set the tone at all.
They gave us a good opponent.
Yeah,
I'll say that. They gave us a good opponent. Yeah, perfect opponent.
But I'm not gonna act like we're gonna blow them out or nothing like that. Still, we got to give Miami their respect, and I don't think Malik Willis is a pushover quarterback either. So it's definitely going to be a solid matchup where we're going to have to play all 4 quarters to pull off this victory, no matter what. We got to make sure we do what it takes to win.
Honestly, I think that it's going to be not an easy game, but a coasting game. They're kind of they're a little bit below us when it comes to the rebuild situation, and with the coaching that they brought in, and like you said, Malik Wood.
I'm sorry, I just had
that guy. But and Malik Willis, like you said, he's good, but he's not, the top dog that I'm just really. You can't sleep on anybody for us. You know what I'm saying? You can't sleep on anybody. That's crazy. You can't sleep on anybody for us. But I think with this one, though, it's perfect for us to actually see where we size up. Because if we come into that game and it's a good game, bro, then we know where we are.
Yeah.
And that's just being real. We should really just beat them. You know what I'm saying? And keep on moving. Even and that's not gonna say that we're just going to be this playoff, this fucking amazing team because we beat the Dolphins, but we see where we stack up against teams that we should win against.
Exactly. I think starting off with the Chargers or the Rams or Niners or a playoff team would be a very different situation. So starting with the team that's, like you said, a similar level than we are, I think it's a good opportunity is what it is. Because week 2, we play at SoFi and we can't win there. We haven't won there since fans were allowed in the stadium. So I'd like to see us turn that around too.
I want to know your thoughts on that one, man. Like that one really bugs me because I'm like, why is it every year we always within the first like 3 weeks we're at SoFi, and I live down the street. It's a nice stadium, but it sucks when it comes to the early part of the season. It gets hot in there. There's no air conditioning. It feels like a sauna.
It's terrible. They claim there's air conditioning, but I don't think it really works because it's an open air stadium. I know it has a canopy, but technically it's an open air stadium. So yeah, man, September's terrible there. It's so hot. Everybody, their shirts, your jerseys, whatever you're wearing is like just drenched by the end of the game. So I don't care. It would be worth it if we win. Because every year we show up that, a lot of the LA based Raider fans show up, and then people come from Central Cali, Northern Cali, Vegas, and we lose every year, whether it's the Chargers or the Rams. We had that Baker Mayfield moment a few years ago in 2022. Should have won that game.
I remember that vividly, and I seen it happening. Like I don't know why. Like that. Maybe that's the PTSD being a Raider fan, but that game was one of those games where, like, as the fourth quarter was progressing, like maybe like 3 minutes into the fourth quarter, I was just like, "Oh shit!" Like I seen it.
Yeah,
Jerry Tillery.
Yeah, Jerry Tillery, Derek with the unnecessary pick at the end of the game. It's like,
yep.
Shoot,
honestly, like
calibrating after the punt. I love AJ Cole, but it's like, bro, why did you do that? No.
Yeah, he did. He had that great punt too. But that year, 2022, to me was one of the most frustrating years ever because, we had that 2021, we made the playoffs, lost to the Bengals, but it's a miracle that we even made the playoffs that year after Gruden was out because of the emails and Ruggs was out because of the DUI. Yeah. We made the playoffs and then we added Devontae Adams. It just felt like in 2022 that we were on an upward trajectory, and Josh McDaniels just tore that down. But every game was like we either had a lead, a 20-point lead that we blew, or we had some kind of, crazy ending like that Rams game that we just – and some of them we won. That was the whole Chandler Jones Patriots game where he had that crazy, touchdown, but we went 6-11, and there's a few plays there where that's easily like 10-7 just on a handful of plays because we were ahead of the Jags by 20. We were ahead of the Chiefs on Monday night by 17. Our home opener against the Arizona Cardinals was 20-3 at halftime. We blew that one as well. I mean, that season was the most frustrating season of all. It's even more frustrating than just being 4-13 or 3-14 because at that point you accept that we suck and we're not going to win games. But that 2022, we should have won a lot of those games.
Yeah. So I got to ask you, Brian. Now I know you've been to a lot of Raider games. I'm sure a whole lot of Raider games. What would you say or just as a whole in total? What would you say are the top 3 most memorable Raider games like that you've seen? What are the top 3 most memorable games you were in attendance for?
So I don't know if I can do 3, but I know what number 1 is, and it was that Chargers game at the end of 2021 when we went to overtime and we might have tied. And I'm talking about games that I was present for. There might have been some other moments maybe I watched on TV, but like I was in that stadium. It was the first year that we had fans in Allegiant because the year before was COVID. And like I said, this is all Gruden, Ruggs, and we had won we were 6-7 and basically had to win out. And we won the next 3 in very close games. It was like a last-second Carlson field goal in Cleveland, a last-second field goal in Indy, and then suddenly here we are. And it's like, if you guys tie, you both go in. And to go into overtime and almost tie was just a crazy atmosphere. And by the way, one of the things I love about that, because a lot of people complain about the stadium being overrun with opposing fans, and it's true, but that game was like 85%.
Blackout. Yeah.
It was. And that's why I keep telling people, like, the whole Vegas experience is going to take two things. One's time, but more importantly, it's going to take winning. If we win, you'll see it's not going to be a sea of orange, a sea of red. It's really hard, since a majority of our fan base is in California. It's really hard to come out to see a product that's not good. Vegas is expensive, even the drive, especially now with gas, right? It's going to be $100 just to drive there, and then the tickets and so on. So you got to win. That's it.
Yeah. And that's the crazy part. Like, the fact that we've been such a bad team, yet we're one of the highest ticketed or highest priced teams in the resale market, where even though we're bad, like, people still pay to see the brand and watch. Now, I'm sure now too, it's also probably those fans from opposing teams, because Vegas is a tourist attraction. But now it's time where we got to really take things serious. Especially, it's crazy to see. Like, I never thought I would see. It's looking like we may be on the brink of new, like, primary ownership for the team. But now it's like, okay, like, it seemed, and much respect to Marky Mark. Like, I got a lot of love for Marky Mark, but it's like, damn, like, now it seems like, okay, like, we got real serious football minds, and people are serious about winning here. So it's time. It's time. Like, shout out Kenny Clark here. He said it's revenge time. I don't care. We looking like a ball club now. Yeah. I agree with that, and I really hope that this is the turning point where we really start seeing wins, because just like with the fan base and constantly seeing opposing fans in the stadium, I'm sure a lot of us are getting tired, just like Max is, of hearing these damn trade rumors every fucking offseason or midway season. And a lot of people are like, when does this stop? When does it stop winning? Once we start winning games, all that
stuff will stop.
He's not going to be frustrated no more. We're actually going to be happy, and he's going to be happy, and nobody's going to be questioning if he's happy, because we're winning. That's the one thing he said, is he wants to win. So, and everybody wants to win. So once that happens, people are going to be more invested, even more so to want to support a winning product, especially the local fans.
It's going to be our time to shine this year. Well, not this year, but, moving forward, as far as the organization in these next couple of years, it's going to be our time to shine. We're doing the right things, man. We're building this team. And that's what a lot of people weren't paying attention to, is we're building this team as far as, like, with homegrown players. Like, if this draft, like, last draft hit pretty well. If this draft hits pretty well, like, we're going to start seeing that we have depth, and then you sprinkle in some decent free agents. Like, if you see, we didn't go get the crazy top free agents outside of Linderbaum, because that was the part of the ball that we needed the most help on. But Kwity Paye wasn't the best, outside linebacker that was out there at the time. Quay and Nakobe, they could have been, in that conversation for being the top linebackers. But, we went for guys. We went for guys that were decent players and something to build around. Like, it wasn't nothing crazy where you got to spend a bunch of money on one person and then you can't do this. You know what I'm saying? So I think we made some good moves.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And the fact that now, like, I feel like maybe I'm tripping, but this might actually be the best on paper defense that Maxx Crosby's had around him. Also, so not only is it, like, obviously we brought in a quarterback, so you got to focus on moving around the quarterback and getting things set up for the quarterback. But hey, this is basically your quarterback on the defense. Like, I feel like it's only right. Like, you get him a great supporting cast as well. Like, he can't do it all by himself.
Yeah. That 2021 defense was pretty good, but this one is definitely probably better.
Yeah.
I think too, one thing that I've thought a lot about is we were so bad last year, 3 wins, right? But there's some things that I think are a little misleading. Number one is our offensive line, because it was terrible, right? But Colton Miller missed most of the season. JPJ was out for an extended period. and you had an offensive line coach that wasn't even setting up the proper meetings with the team to go over schemes and so much, things like that. So
Yeah.
I just feel like with Linderbaum coming in, that center piece is so critical, right? And he's like the best in the league. If Colton's healthy, if JPJ's healthy, like you've got a line that might be far better than it was last year, like very quickly turn that around. And from the line, everything else comes like, like Genty was a rookie. He had 975 rushing yards. He almost had 1,000-yard rookie season, and he was getting hit behind the line almost every play. He had the most yards after contact in the league. And then you had Geno, right? So Geno was throwing picks left and right, but he was also getting pressured a lot. Like it wasn't just all on Geno. That line was tough. So I just think that if we get that line right, this offense with Bowers and even our receivers, I think Trey and Naylor are going to be good, but we still haven't really. We have not seen Jack Besh and Dante Thornton really, because the team was so bad. The line was so bad. Like, how do we even know if they're good or not? I feel like we didn't get enough of that. We didn't see enough of them last year. There were flashes, like even week 1 against the Patriots, Dante looked really good. I thought, oh man, this guy is going to be awesome. But it's just so hard without the line, So if we get the line right, I'm not saying Super Bowl, but I'm saying like you could see a big jump in the offense just from that line getting fixed.
The line, and not just that, we're actually going to get to see what quality quarterback play looks like. Now, some people may be skeptical of the possibility of it being Kirk Cousins, but I'm open to that, whether it's Fernando or Kirk Cousins. Like all these last couple of off seasons, before we figured out who was going to be our bridge quarterback or our quarterback for the season, I kept pounding the table like, hey guys, like why don't we get Kirk Cousins? Like I like Kirko. Like I wouldn't be opposed to Kirko being over here.
Yeah.
And the fact that we finally got him, like, to me, that's exciting. Like, and especially he's going to be working with a coach that he's quite familiar with, might have actually had his best season with, like that.
That's right. Yeah. I think he's solid. He'll at least be competitive. I think the thing for me is, when we moved off Derek Carr, Derek Carr gave us some stability that we didn't have. Because remember, before 2014, before Carr, we were just cycling through quarterbacks like nobody's business, right? And when we moved off Carr, my big question was, okay, we're going to move off Carr, but who is it going to be? What are we doing? And we've had like 9 starting quarterbacks since Derek Carr. That to me is ridiculous, So if Cousins like is the 10th one, but he's not long-term. Fernando's supposed to be long-term. If Cousins starts the season, I'll be okay with it. Give Fernando some time. But, if we get to like week 7 and we're 2-5, I want to see Fernando. I'm actually really excited about preseason, which is strange because I absolutely hate preseason. But it's going to be fun because, maybe Cousins starts the first quarter and then Fernando's going to get some playing time. So we might see more of Fernando in preseason than the first couple of weeks. So that's going to be exciting.
That's true. And I know a lot of people are, like you said, like some people don't really care for like the preseason games just because it's like, okay, well, the stars aren't really playing. I feel like maybe also like the content creator in me and also just like the former player, like getting to see like on HBO how they do Hard Knocks, like the process of them explain like what it takes to make the team and everything, and how like these games are important to see if like these are basically their live auditions right there in front of the coaches, in front of the organization, to see like, okay, are you good enough to make the cut to earn the shield? Are you good enough to suit up every Sunday with us? But
absolutely no. From a practical point of view, the preseason's critical, of course, for all the reasons you said. I speak about it more from a fan perspective. Like you're just getting teased. It's like the season's around the corner. We're almost there, but we got to watch fourth stringers play. The entire second half. So that's why I say I hate preseason. But it's all these practices that are happening now. It's going to be training camp, preseason. All of it's necessary to get your team right by week 1. I just don't necessarily want to, from a fan point of view, it's not as exciting as the regular season, of course.
Yeah,
it's like a Thursday during a work week. It's right there Friday.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
right. The
And
pre-Friday, yeah.
if I may, it's fucking on. He said a whole heap of Sundays is a revenge schedule. No, I agree with that, man. And like a lot of people, I get the frustration. I get why people are mad about the fact that we don't have any primetime games or nothing. I
Yeah.
was honestly I was under the impression we were gonna get the Sunday night football slot for that Niner game. I was really shocked that they didn't give us that. But
Yeah.
when they explained it and said like, "Hey, we don't know exactly when Fernando's going to start," like you we go based on how you play, not how you get drafted. Like that was I respect that, and it's true. Like we gotta earn the right. Like even though we're
And I
respectful. Oh, go ahead.
it
Go ahead.
seemed like that, a lot of times it always feels like the NFL is against the Raiders,
Mhm.
but like in this case, there were several teams that don't. I think there's five teams
Yeah.
that don't have any primetime games, and they're all the bad teams. We only had 3 wins, so it does make sense. Like it'd be
Uh-huh.
nice if they just gave us a primetime because we're the Raiders, but we only had 3 wins, so it does
Yeah.
make sense to me. But that Niner game would have been nice primetime because I tell you what, that
Return to the day.
tailgate, maybe it would be a
Yeah.
bad idea because people will get too drunk. It's going to be too much tailgating to have it
Yeah.
prime time. That's probably
And
they probably did a safety thing there.
yeah, and I remember I had mixed thoughts about it. Like before the schedule release actually went down, I think me and Trey had talked about it on the show before too, where I was like I think it would be dope to return to the Bay, but also part of me is like I don't know, like we've seen in the past, like where it's got pretty rowdy, even at preseason games, it's got crazy.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the parking lot, in the stadium, wherever it's on when
Be
those
safe.
teams meet up. Yeah. So I was like, I don't know, maybe a neutral site might be a little bit better, but also like I didn't want to be the guy to be like, no, like the Bay Area don't deserve that because it's like the fans in Oakland, those East Bay fans, like they deserve the opportunity to see the Raiders close to home again, at
Yeah.
least once. I don't know if it's possible in the future, but who knows? Maybe it would be dope if they could do that, where at least one game the Raiders get to play, like in whether it's at the Collie or you get me, like one game in the Bay, even a
Yeah.
preseason game. Like I know that, like with basketball, like the Lakers do that sometimes, where they go play at the Pyramid or they'll play like at like a different state or in Hawaii or something like that for preseason, and then all right, we're back over here. Like that would be cool if they could do something like that
Yeah.
for like a preseason game, like go back to the Collie for preseason or something.
Yeah, that would be super dope.
Tell you
Yeah.
what, that tailgate's going to be insane. I know it's not, it's South Bay, it's Santa Clara, it's a little different, but you're right. All those people that from
What
the Bay
time
are
is
going to come out.
what
There's
time
going to
is
be
that? What
sorry.
time is that preseason game gonna be? That really could be that one could be a night one because it's still to be determined and all that.
Yeah,
And it's week one.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think they've said it yet.
Yeah, the only one we got is the Houston game because we're doing a joint practice with them.
Yeah. And I believe they actually, and it's going to be interesting to see because even though we don't have any primetime games, like who knows, maybe Fernando is actually the day one starter, and that might change their minds, or we start winning games with Kirk, and we look like we're on the brink of playoffs. They could still very well flex us into the schedule too for primetime games. Probably not no international, but we might be able to get like a Sunday night or even a Sunday night game possibly flexed.
Yeah. Yeah, because those start around what week? The possibility of a flex happening on a Sunday night, it starts around like week 12, week 13, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we have a nice run going into the bye, we might can get flexed right there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, if Fernando's starting week 1, that means that he must have looked incredible in training camp because I just don't see there being any other way. Like Cousins is likely to start, but if he blows people away, then that means we'll be in a good position, I think.
Yeah, and I love what Coach Kubiak said today in the presser, where he mentioned that when they asked him about how the QB battle is going. Now, obviously, they just started practicing, so he's not going to have like a full analysis just yet.
Yeah.
But he said like all will reveal itself. Where at the end of the day, it's even though it's his decision, they're going to make the decision for him. Like whoever the best man is, whoever he feels deserves the job is going to be the starter. Now, if that's Fernando, he that at that point, like you said, he outright earned it. Like he's in the show.
Mhm.
Clearly, he's the guy, and he deserves to be out there. But
Yep.
I'm gonna play this clip real quick. We actually got some footage. Shout out to Q Myers and Raider Nation Radio. They actually had footage earlier from practice of our first look at the QB room at OTAs. Yeah. Hey, Fernando is a big boy because looking at this clip, I remember O'Connell being tall. Like I
Yeah.
believe he's like 6'4", and Fernando's taller than him. Like that's crazy.
And you see little baby Kirk right there.
Yeah.
Baby Kirk go.
And I don't know. Based on that little clip right there, like I don't know. It looked like Kirk still got a little something in that arm. Like it don't look like the throwing motion's off or it's slow. Like it looked exciting to me. I'm really excited whether it's Kirk or Fernando. I hope to see some wins. I know some people are hoping for a top pick so we could get a top guy, but I just really hope that I really hope that we see wins. Like I don't care to be a top 3 pick next year. Like we already got our quarterback, so you could find a star receiver whether it's in the top 5 or later. Like at this point, I want to see some wins. I'm ready to see some wins.
Yeah.
These teams winning Super Bowls are not picking number one. You know what I mean?
No.
They're building teams through good solid drafts all the way through every round, good free agency, and it's. I would never root for like multiple years in a row of having a great pick because that would be very. Well, it's what it's been, right? We've had good picks in the last few years because we've been bad.
3 years in a row, 4 years in a row because we went 7, 13, 7, 13, 6, and 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that 13th pick, it's funny because like Bowers was that 13th pick a couple years ago, and it's so funny how you feel about a draft pick when it happens based on expectation, right? Because the moment we drafted him, I was actually surprised, and I was just like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah,
because we had just drafted a tight end the year before, Mayer, and so as good as Bowers is, I just wasn't even thinking about tight end. That's not what we need. But I remember all those quarterbacks were going before it got to us. We needed a quarterback. Everybody picked up a quarterback, and it's like, I don't know what we're doing now. But yeah, I was really shocked by that, and I'm so thankful now because I think Fernando to Bowers is going to be a combo for several years to come.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and I'm excited to see that as well. Coach Kubiak is more than excited to see that pairing as well. He said today that Brock Bowers is a football robot from heaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude is a machine. And that's the one crazy part is like even though he's not the most like charismatic guy, like at least like when he steps on the field, like he's a whole different animal. Like he really goes full go. Like he's like you said, he's a football robot.
And he said that when they did the skit, and he was like, "I think I can help with that Pam situation." I'm like, "Oh shit, y'all really got him in the video doing this?" Like, yo, it was crazy. I did not expect to see him.
Hey, a lot of people. I seen some mixed reviews on the schedule release, but shoot, that was I believe one of the top 3 most viewed schedule releases this year, and I loved it. I thought it was funny, like I know they teased Brock Bowers and a few other players possibly acting in the skit, but I like seeing Kirk and Fernando actually as stepbrothers. I'm sure a lot of us in Raider Nation were making that joke, that inside joke, leading up to it.
Yeah.
So like the fact that they did that, I wasn't mad at it. Like to me, I felt like that was on brand humor and it made sense.
You got to
It
know the
was.
movie too.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I noticed when people weren't familiar with Step Brothers, they were like, "What the hell is this? This is weird and awkward," but it was supposed to be. But the
Yeah.
other thing is like, with Fernando coming in and Cousins coming over, I'm really positive that Cousins knew we were drafting Fernando. I don't think that was any surprise. But at the same time, they're competing for a spot, right? So to see them interact like that was very positive and uplifting. It was like, okay, cool. These guys can get along. I know they're doing a skit, but if they were at each other's throats, they wouldn't be doing a skit together.
Yeah.
So I like that energy a lot.
Yeah, and I love that nickname. I could be wrong, but I think we made that nickname here on BTV. Like
No,
before, like leading up to the playoffs. I think we were joking around. I think it was Trey that actually called Fernando the Nandalorian.
Oh, really? Oh, that's
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
he called him the Mandalorian. So it was funny, like the fact that he said it during the show. I don't know if they got that from us or not. I don't want to take credit. If they did, we're flattered, we appreciate it. But that was funny. Like I was like, no way. He said the Mandalorian.
it was a guy that came on.
Sended him a
Q's
jersey
show.
too.
Yeah, it was a guy that came on Q's show, and like he said something about it on there, and then the Q was like, "Yeah, I don't watch movies and none of that, so like I don't even know who you're talking about." And then I remember us talking about it. So then when we see the schedule release thing, he's like, "Yeah, I'm the Mandalorian," and not to mention the movie comes out this weekend, so
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like,
Good timing.
yeah,
Not just
yeah.
that, but they love to bring up Star Wars in a way with Raider Nation, the dark side and whatnot. So like I thought that was awesome. Like it was on brand with like the Death Star, the Mandalorian. Like it makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah.
Prez, you say you have an update for us in the background?
Yeah, OKC takes game 2.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. They split.
122 to 113.
Sheesh. Okay, we appreciate that. Hell
SGA
yeah.
wasn't going out like that.
Yeah,
I want to say real quick, because we were talking about what Kubiak said about Brock, and one thing that jumped out to me was the way he kind of, because Kubiak doesn't show really no emotion, but when they started talking about Trey Tucker, he was like, "Oh nah, like Trey is gonna be a go-to player for us. Trey is gonna be a player that we use a lot." He said it's not a lot of players that can gain that many yards running that fast. So that kind of just opened my ears up. Like we've been seeing Trey Tucker, like, oh man, he looks like he can be good. He looks like he can be this. But now you put him in a system like this, and we really might. We were thinking like, yo, we got to get somebody to replace just to be that JSN. And what if we got him on the roster this whole time?
Yeah, it's a possibility. And I remember at first, like during the offseason, we were even talking about the possibility of what if they're considering trading him. Me personally, I wouldn't want to trade Trey Tucker. I think he's a key asset to this offense. But the big question mark now is, okay, they're putting a lot of trust in you. Can you be the one this year? Can you be that wide receiver one? Or are we still going to have to possibly look elsewhere? Because not only that, I believe it's a contract year too this season. So it's like a lot's at stake. A lot of pressure is on the line. And I hope he could I hope the lights don't get too bright in this season for him. I hope he shows out for us.
Contract year, he's going to put up some numbers.
I don't think that he's going to have that pressure of being like an actual number one, even though he takes a lot of those reps or something like that, because he still has Brock, and you're still going to see Brock, Naylor, all these guys. They're going to rotate that position. Mm-hmm. But I think for Trey Tucker, it's going to make him look better than he's looked in the past. Like we might see him crack that 1,000 yards this year, and he'll really be somebody that we see on a highlight, on a top 10 highlight on SportsCenter that night. I think that's the part. Like not necessarily him being the number one, because we know who that is. It's that guy we got on the screen right there. But just him taking that next step as far as like an NFL receiver. And being put in a good system and having a good quarterback, just stuff like that.
And we've seen a brief glimpse of it last year, especially honestly, that week 1 matchup against New England last year, that bomb that Geno threw to him, I was excited. Like I thought, like,
Yeah.
okay, we're gonna see this all season long. Like, okay,
Yeah.
like this is what we had to look forward to. Now, I don't want to point the finger and say it was all on Geno or the O line. It was bad all around. But this year we have a revamped O line. We clearly addressed the quarterback situation big time. So now it's time to see what can be done. And from what I've seen, Fernando throws a pretty nice a deep ball pass. So I can't wait to see that. I hope
Yeah.
that we get that connection going real soon. I really hope so.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna
So.
happen. Man.
I think so. And the other two guys besides them, of course, and Brock Bowers the passing game, but that rushing attack, I'm excited to see what they do. And both Clint Kubiak and our OC Andrew Janoko had very big things to say about our two stars on the offensive side of the ball. Let me see here.
Two names that Raider fans are very familiar with: Ashton Jeanty, Brock Bowers. What have you seen in your first few months here in the building?
Two huge competitors, two guys that are pedal to the floor all the time. If we get an hour on the field, that's an hour of full speed work. If we get 30 minutes on the field, that's an hour 30 minutes of all they've got. So those are two guys that don't know another gear. They only know how to go and how to work hard, and that kind of sets the pace for what we want to be and where we want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see what year 3 Brock does and what year 2 Ashton does, especially now that he also has a bit of competition, I would say, in that running back room with Mike Washington. It's going to be interesting. And I even though I know he did say he's fully supportive of what Mike Washington had to say, I thought it was interesting what he also mentioned in presser, where he said, if I don't need to leave the field, I don't think I should have to leave the field. So who is it? We're gonna see some real. This is only OTAs, but we're gonna see some real competitive competition in camp to see like who wants those reps, who wants it more. So
he looked jacked too. Pause. Did you see him in the presser?
Who did?
Ashton.
Oh, you say he looked jacked, like
yeah, bro. Like his arms, no homo was like. I was like, yo, this man been going crazy in the summer, man. Pause. Yeah, for real. But it was like it's gonna be interesting. But the head coach also Kubiak also said like, no, we want Genty to take the brunt of the rushes. He compared it to like Christian McCaffrey,
Yeah.
So it's gonna be I can't wait to see it, man.
Yeah, he expects greatness out of him, and rightfully so. It makes a lot of sense.
We want to put a lot of pressure on Ashton. The next guy that steps up, whoever that may be, that's going to be to be seen here in practice, OTAs, and training camp. But we think we should continue to challenge Ashton and get more out of him. I said that before. I think it's important to have a quality second back, but the best players got to play, and we got to get them on the field as much as we can. I don't know the play snap percentage, but you look at Christian McCaffrey, his play snap percentage is high. So those are great backs. They don't want to come off the field.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at it. Like I agree 100% with why Ashton Jeanty feels that way. Like when you want to be the best, that's the mindset you have. Where it's like, nah, man, like it's me. Like you depend on me. Put like I could carry the workload. So I get that entirely, but it's gonna be exciting. I'm really excited to see this rushing attack, knowing now like we're not laying up at all, whether it's Ashton out there or it's gonna be Mike Washington. Like we're gonna have a crazy 1-2 punch. Who knows? In your opinion, what is this the best? Well, obviously they haven't played it, but on paper, would you say this is the best duo we've had since when? Where would you say? Like where what was the last great 1-2 punch we had?
Who did we have with I felt like there was one year where Jacobs had some support.
Was it Kenyon Drake or Alec Ingold?
Oh well, I love Ingle, but he was like fullback, wasn't he? Or
Yeah.
sorry, was he? Yeah, no, he was like team captain. Yeah, I miss Ingle. That was hard to see him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think I don't know. We'll see. I really like the Washington pick, and I think he was great in college. I think he's going to be good, but I don't know. It's hard to say it's going to be better than some duos. But before that, I don't remember any.
Jalen Richard wasn't bad with Josh.
Yeah, Jalen Richard was cool. I
Yeah,
did like
that's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah, Jalen Richard was cool. Before that, I would say what maybe Tyron Wheatley and Napoleon. Would that be the last great duo, or
Who was with Charlie Gardner?
was that Wheatley too?
That's what I'm thinking. Wheatley was with Charlie Gardner too.
Yeah, yeah, we had that. Shoot, Run DMC and Marcel Reese was also a really good 1-2 partner.
Yeah.
Man, Latavius Murray and DeAndre. No, I'm playing.
Oh man, yeah.
I did like DeAndre Washington as a running back, though. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't wait though, and I wonder, have they confirmed yet like their nickname, or are we still working on the nickname for them?
I mean,
What do you think? Should we, like how they're going off of the season where everybody has to earn the shield? Should we give them the nickname, or do you think like, nah, you guys got to earn the?
We gotta let it. We gotta
there.
see it together.
Yeah,
and genuinely come up with something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's been some good ones. Like I seen Smash and Dash, which that one was a favorite with Nation. Smash and Dash.
I think Gent even he was doing a live stream and he commented on that one, Smash and Dash.
Yeah,
because they were, what were they saying? They were saying like Thunder and Lightning or something like that, and he was like, "No, you got to do something else."
Oh, Silver Surfer and Black Lightning. I mean, that one sounds cool. Also, but that one's kind of long. Like sometimes
too many words. Yeah.
Yeah, like sometimes you need something like just cut to the chase. You get me?
Like, shake and bake. You know, keep it going with the Will Ferrell and
Now I like that
theme.
Yeah,
I like that.
I had mentioned on my guy on the show I do with my guy Raider Rundown on Blunts and Breakdowns. I had mentioned when we were talking nicknames last week. I believe I said Boom and Zoom, where Ashton would be the one that brings the boom, and obviously we know the speedster in Mike Washington. That's the Zoom. But I wouldn't be mad at Shake and Bake either. Whatever they feel is the great nickname, as long as they produce and they give us a reason to mention it in a positive way, I love it. Let's rock out. We can do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited about this year, and it's cool to see. Like, obviously we got into OTAs and a lot of changes. The one interesting thing that we got to get into, I want to know your thoughts on this, because we touched base on this a little bit earlier, but I never thought I'd see the day where we may be like a real possibility Marky Mark may sell this team or not be like the primary owner of the franchise.
So the percentage of stuff that these people are buying is percentages of people that were trying to sell from when they left, when they were in Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Marky D still has his portions, like, so whatever portion he had was what he had. Like, these people are like people that are selling off their shit, like from Oakland and stuff.
Yeah, but that's true. But I think it was interesting when the proposal went to the league about what would happen if, right? There was something they had to sign off, like if Mark Davis were to sell the team, and I think that was very telling because it seems like he's planning for something in the future, maybe even near future, but I don't know. We'll see.
Don't do that. He said that Egon Durbin looks like Hunter Renfro, and like a clean shaved Hunter Renfro. That's crazy. I mean, we did say though, hey, shoot, bro was going to work. He looked like a blue collar citizen, but when he stepped on that field, he was cooking people.
Yeah,
he was cooking people. That was shout out Hunter Renfro, man. I really miss Hunter Renfro. That was
That's one guy I wanted to come back, man.
yeah, that was our I'm a Laker fan, so for a good analogy, I'll say that was our Alex Caruso. That was our Alex
Yeah.
Caruso. He was cooking.
Yeah.
Those games that we won in freaking 21
Mhm.
were all Hunter Renfro. He
Yeah.
went crazy that year. I remember everybody remembers that Colts catch, but do you remember the Pittsburgh Steelers game?
Yeah.
When like he gets open behind the defense and he is like and Derek Carr, you see him like fake it over to the left and then he just tosses a bomb.
Yeah, his route running was insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
That one little, where he does all three moves at one time.
Oh, the China route? Yeah. That China route was special. And
it kills me. The 2021 playoff game against the Bengals, we had a 1st and goal with a minute left, and I think we spiked it on 1st down. But the 2nd down play drives me crazy because Renfro did an out, and he was open, and Derek Carr missed him, and it was just like that was the play that we should have gotten the touchdown on.
Yeah,
that was tough.
Yeah.
That game bothers me too because I don't even think we should have been in that predicament. Like I don't care what nobody says. He stepped out of bounds. They blew the whistle. Like
no, he didn't step out of bounds. They blew the whistle early.
Yeah.
And when the whistle gets blown,
no
that play's supposed to be dead.
Everybody stopped.
Trayvon Merrick, you see him stop like he was about to go light T. Higgins up, and he stops, and then they're like, "Oh no, touchdown!" Like, bro.
That was so bogus, man.
I think the only counter to that is that was like first half, right? And you still had the whole second half, but there's no doubt it affected the game. But
yeah,
they still had a chance. Like they still, they were still in it. They still could have done it, but they didn't. So
yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. And the other part that was interesting. So now, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I think Egon Durbin now owns about 40% of the team, roughly.
Yeah, Marky D's at 36.
So does that mean that he's how does that work now? Is he still the primary owner, or does that now mean that since he has the higher share, is he now the new majority? How does that work?
I think it's still got to be that 51%.
Yeah, doesn't Mark have over 50?
I seen 36 earlier. But I think that is a different type of wording for the situation. Like I still think he's the majority owner, but I'm not a business owner person guy to know that type of stuff. But I know it was something like weird like that where he's still like the owner because the whole succession plan thing was for like 10 years down the road, and it's just something they had to put in place because Marky D didn't have kids.
Gotcha. Okay, so Prez, we appreciate you with the comment in the background. He said Durbin owns 33% currently. So, Prez, so with Egon Durbin owning 33%, where does that put Marky Mark at currently?
I'm not sure where Mark is actually. I have to look that up as well. But last thing, according to Sports Business Journal, they said Durbin would own 33% with his investing firm.
Okay, appreciate you. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I get it. Like there are some fans that want him to sell the team and stuff, but I don't know. Like I don't have a problem with Marky Mark, and he said it himself many times where he's self-aware, and I appreciate that about him. That he straight up said it, like, "Hey man, I'm not this bright football mind like that. I'm trying to learn, and I want to win." Like, and we see it. Like I'm not mad at the moves that he's made. Like I get it. It sucks having to have constant turnover year after year of different coaches, different GMs and stuff, but at least you can see he's putting an effort. He's trying to put a winning product out there. And maybe he does not know exactly how to do that, but he's getting the right people in the building to actually make it possibly happen. And I would hate to see it, even though I get it, like it's a business move, I'm sure he'd make a lot of money selling it. I think it would be awesome to, like, I feel like Marky Mark deserves that. Like Mark Davis deserves an opportunity to see his organization win a Super Bowl at some point, like before he said, "You know what, I'm cool now. Like somebody else can run it."
We gotta have cash on hand, man, and that's what all this has been about the whole time is to be able to give out guaranteed money. And there's a guy named Brock Bowers that's going to be coming up on a contract year. I mean, it's his third year. You might as well pay him now. You
Yeah.
know, so they freeing up money for situations like that, I'm guessing. You know what I mean? Just in
Oh,
case.
you're talking about like the signing bonuses and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
It's possible, but I don't know, man. Like it just seems crazy, like how fast it's moving. Maybe it is the case that he is going to sell. I wouldn't want to see Marky Mark sell without this team getting a Super Bowl for him at least. Like I feel like he deserves that.
Yeah, I agree. Completely agree. My screen is lagging like crazy right now, but I'm good.
For sure. I was like making sure everybody's good, everybody's connection's good.
Yeah, I had to try to get my laptop plugged up before it conked out on me. I got to get a new charger. I was fighting with it for 5 minutes. I don't know if y'all can see, but yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Anthony, for joining us today on the show. He said, in my humble opinion, I feel it'll be a sad day for Raider Nation when the Davis family loses control of the Raiders. Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Shout out the Unfiltered Truth. My guy Phil, he said Mark ain't selling the Raiders. I hope not, bro. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him sell at all. Like I feel like he deserves to be a part of this success. Like, man, like just like us fans, we've been here through the ringer, like going through all these hardships and stuff. Like, hey man, you deserve to be there when we finally reach the pinnacle again. And we finally reach the mountaintop and get that Super Bowl.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
I hope so,
Just
man.
wait.
I hope so. I mean, the last time I seen a playoff win, I was a third grader. I'm 31 now, about to be 32 in a little over 3 months. So it's like,
I was in like the 10th grade, like 10th, 11th
yeah,
grade. But man, we gotta get to what we came here really to hear, man. We gotta
yeah,
hear about those games. We
yeah.
gotta hear
Oh,
about that experience in the games.
okay. Now, Phil got an interesting comment. I want to know everybody's thoughts on this. He said a Super Bowl cements Mark is one of the greatest owners in history.
In history, I don't know
He
about
said
that.
he elaborated more. He said he switched markets, built a new stadium, and won it all in Vegas. Now, I will give him credit for what he did with his WNBA team with the Las Vegas Aces, but I don't know if we could put that exactly into.
I think it depends on how you're measuring, because I think there's a lot leaning on the business aspect and what he did, because from the franchise point of view, the valuation of the franchise has grown significantly since being in Vegas. So absolutely right about that. One Super Bowl, if he gets one Super Bowl, I don't know I think he'd have to get multiple to be, I mean, it was a great business move, but until you win, not just once, but a few times, I think that's tough. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's definitely working doing business moves. So besides Egon Durbin, I believe it's two more execs from TKO Sports that are actually buying stake in the Raiders as well. I believe one is getting, I think, around like 5%, and the other guy is a little less than a percentage, but it's still getting an ownership stake. Now, this is interesting. I know some people are going to feel away because I think TKO has to do with wrestling right now with the WWE and ownership and the script writing. Who knows? I mean, like we said, with the script writing and scripted wrestling, maybe this is all part of the plan. Maybe in a couple years, or maybe this year in the script, we win the Super Bowl. I would hope to see that happen. And it makes sense. Get the script writers on our side. Get those guys.
I'm still thinking 29. All those 3-year contracts. I'm still thinking 29.
Yeah. Oh, that's a valid thing too that Phil said. He said how many legacy owners have won, like the kids that want, like the kids that won once, like their pops or whoever owned the team passed. Like,
Yeah.
That would be true though. That is now
maybe Steelers.
Yeah, maybe the Steelers in football. It's not very many. I would have had an answer for you in basketball. I would have said the Bus family, but
Yeah.
definitely. When it comes to football, probably just the Steelers right now. Like other than that, there's not really too many others. I would say. So yeah, that could be a valid point right there to definitely have him in consideration. Now, don't get me wrong, he definitely did make a big move moving us over to Vegas and giving us this brand new shiny stadium. I love the stadium. I love it. The couple times I've gotten a chance to step foot in Allegiant, I've definitely enjoyed it every single time. Now, as someone that's, I believe you did have season tickets in Oakland too, correct, sir?
I did not. No,
Oh wow, okay.
I didn't get season tickets until Vegas, and I think it's primarily because where I was at. I think there's a lot of times like during the Gannon years, I was broke, so
Mhm.
I was going to games here and there, like a game each season. I lived in
Yeah.
LA, I grew up in Central California, and so like the Bay was right here and LA was right there. It was right in between the two. So when we moved back from LA to Oakland, it didn't really matter to me just from, terms of getting to games, but I would, I'd only go to like one game a year, maybe two.
Mhm.
But it's mostly because I was broke, I couldn't afford to go. So it
Yeah.
was, I went to a few more before I started going to more before the move, but then after the move, I think partially because Vegas was closer. Um, I just felt like there was an energy shift. I thought like, oh man, I think we're going to be good. We made the playoffs in 2021, um,
Mhm.
yeah. So the season tickets started in Vegas.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, so I definitely got to experience the tailgates as a kid, attending games in Oakland.
Oh man.
Luckily, one of my uncles he would always have extra tickets. His boss would give him tickets, so he would always invite me over. His kids didn't exactly support the Raiders. After a while, they were the kids in the family that we always give them a hard time about that. Where it's like, man, you should stick around. Now, obviously, there wasn't really much to stick around for, but when it gets better, it's gonna be worth it. But yeah, they ended up switching teams and supporting whoever was trending at the time. So
Mm,
luckily, my uncle would take me. So I definitely got to experience the Oakland Coliseum for all the good and the bad. Definitely the aroma in the stadium, like
yeah.
everybody likes to say. I
There's
definitely
nothing like that tailgate.
yeah. And do you think there's ever a point where we'll see that really in Vegas, where like we get that energy back like that with the fan base, or you think that's only
I
an
don't think it'll ever get quite back to that, and I think it's because I think there's multiple factors. You can't force that kind of thing. It has to happen organically. And I think what you had in Oakland is you had a stadium that was completely surrounded by parking lot, and you don't have that in Vegas. So some of it is just the layout. There's the freeway, there's the bridge, there's an entire side of the stadium that you can't go on because there's a freeway.
yeah,
But there is a lot of parking, but even the parking lot that tries to be like Oakland is J Lot, and it's kind of further from the stadium. It's not like right up
yeah,
against it. It's a bit of a hike to get from J Lot to the stadium. I mean, it's not far, it's not crazy, but it's just like I don't know. The winning is very important, yes, but I think that there was something about Oakland. People just lived there and could come
mhm,
in, and I know that there's Raider fans that live in Vegas, of course, and some of them are
yeah,
new, but some of them are Raider fans before they moved, and I've met a lot of them. They're like, yeah, they moved here and it was great, but there's not enough. It's not quite the same, just like 47 years or however many we were in Oakland with the two combined uh, tenures there. It's a lot of years, and it's like a very organic thing. If we're talking like 40 years from now, maybe it could get like that. But it's also Vegas. I don't think they want that. I mean, like the
mhm,
city and the organization. That it was Oakland was rowdy, and it was our rowdy. We loved it. It's just I
yeah.
think it's a different culture. I don't think it'll get like that again.
And I believe it was on Twitter or on Instagram. I'm not sure where I seen where you had mentioned it, but that in a few years from now or something that we would have had already surpassed the amount of time like that Vegas being in Vegas as opposed to being in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Um, Do you, now I don't know. Do you feel like it, like at any point, it's gonna feel like eventually, like no, like Vegas is like the Raiders' true home, or it's always gonna be forever Oakland?
It's going to take a really long time, and it's going to take a couple of Super Bowls to do that. I think one of the reasons that to this day Raiders are so strong, the fan base is so strong in LA because of the Super Bowl we won here, and we were coming off a Super Bowl. I think that that 81 was still Oakland, but 83 was LA. So they moved to LA. It's the first team to ever win a Super Bowl in Los Angeles. There was the rap culture and the just the wardrobe. It was it was a vibe, right? And that's just carried on. And I think that's great. But I think for Vegas to feel that way, they're going to have to be here for decades, and they're going to have some Super Bowl wins for it to make that shift.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many teams that have, like the Rams. You think about the Rams, like they started in Cleveland, but obviously people think of them as LA because they moved here in the 1950s or whatever it was, right? So it was like 4 years in LA before they moved to St. Louis, and that's why it still felt like LA was the home. It's just time. It's generational, and I think one other thing that's tough is that there's some franchises that have been around for a while and have been good, like the Raiders, the Packers, the Steelers. Back in the 60s, 70s, early 80s, there were only a few channels on TV, right? And so one of the things that I've learned about Raider Nation, one of the things that made me start doing the all in on and win thing and going to all these games and documenting them was the first time I went to games in the Midwest, like Indy and Cleveland. I realized so many Raider fans lived there. There's people coming up from Nevada and California, but the people lived there, and that was very interesting to me. Like, why did you become a Raider fan here? And a lot of it is, well, my dad was a Raider fan back in the 70s, back in the 80s, and back then they didn't have that many channels, so the Raiders were good, and you'd get them on TV. It's why the Steelers and Raiders and Cowboys, they all have fan bases all over the country because of that. That's not the case anymore. You don't have that, right? So, with all these streaming channels and 50,000 channels on cable, whatever it is, people can watch all sorts of things. So we're going to lose fans across the U.S. generationally unless we win. If you win, you'll maintain that. You'll kind of feed into that. But there's going to be kids, that have parents that are Raider fans in the East Coast and the South, and the Raiders continue to be bad. They're just going to be like, no, I'm going to support whatever their local team is. It's like the Patriots, their 20-year run here with Tom Brady. They have so many fans that are not in New England. There's fans everywhere. They win, and people want to root for a winning team and a quarterback like Brady. And so we're going to need that, or we're going to lose some of that like nationwide support that we have.
Where would be like I know you traveled a lot of places. Where would be like the most random like location, whether it be in the U.S. or maybe even international, that you did not expect to meet a Raider fan or see somebody that's like, no, I'm from here, but I fully support the team?
Probably Berlin, Germany.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was in Berlin one time for work, and I just, like, within a couple of days, I saw 4 different Raider fans, and then a waiter at the restaurant we were having dinner. We ended up talking about football somehow. He's like, "Yeah, I'm Raiders. I'm Raiders." I'm like, wow, that is crazy. Why are there so many Raider fans in Germany? What's going on there? I think some of it's the look. People really like the look, of course, and but yeah, I think domestically, I think the strangest one I had, it just caught me off guard because it was really the first time I went to a game outside of Nevada, California, and it was in Cleveland. And I was just talking with people, and these fans that I was talking to were from West Virginia, and there's not even like a team in West Virginia, So I was just thinking, like, why? What happened? And it was that story I mentioned of, like, well, back in the 60s, back in the 70s, so on and so
that's
forth.
what was on TV.
Yeah. And that was just really eye-opening because I knew we had fans everywhere. It's like the whole reason for Raider Nation, right? But it became real in that moment. Like, oh, there really are, like, there's some people that have come out from the West for this game, but there's a lot of people. They came from Iowa. They came from West Virginia. They came from Michigan. It was very cool to see.
Now, the one random place I would say I went to that I was like, oh, wow, I didn't expect was in the U.S. was actually in North Carolina. So I used to go out there pretty often for a music festival because one of my favorite rappers is J. Cole. So he did throw a music festival pretty much every year. Last year was the last year he did the festival series. He may bring it back, but while I was at the festival, I actually seen a couple rap people. I did not know who they were, nothing, but I seen a couple people wearing either a Raider jersey. I seen one guy wearing a Bo Jackson jersey. That was pretty cool. And then I seen
Yeah.
another guy wearing a Raider bucket hat. And I was like, oh, wow. And I asked him, I was like, you a Raider fan or just for, and he's like, no, I'm a diehard fan. I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, right on, bro.
Yeah. I mean, that happened during that whole last season, the Guinness journey that I was on, 56 games. Like, so many of the games I went to were not Raider games. You know, I was seeing other teams play, but there I am in Jacksonville, and I run into Coach Lou, who's like a huge Raider fan, and he's at the game because he lives there, and he's, you know, he was just checking out the Chiefs and Jags. But that happened everywhere. Like, I would just constantly, Buffalo, I'm walking down the concourse and I see two Raider fans in front of me. So I like got my camera out and my mic, and it was funny because the guy started talking into the mic and talking into the camera, and it took him about 30 seconds to realize I was also wearing Raiders. And all of a sudden he looked down and he was like, wait, you're Raiders too? Like, what the hell? You know, it was cool, but just constantly everywhere. Very high percentage of games had a Raider fan in the stadium.
Hell yeah. And that's one thing I always, so my girlfriend's actually a Rams fan. So sometimes, like, if they have an extra ticket and if we're not playing, she'll ask me, hey, you want to go with us to the stadium? I'm like, sure. Like, it's football. Why not? Like, I got nothing else to do. I'll go watch the game. And every time I always tell her, like, hey, watch, I guarantee you we're going to see at least 5 Raider fans or something. Like, I always give her a wild number. She's like, no way. No
Especially
way. I start counting them down. I'm like, you see? I'm like, we're everywhere.
Yeah. No, yeah, the games I went to at SoFi, every time I ran into several Raider fans that were just there for the same reason, right? They're just with people in LA. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so I got to ask. You mentioned, like, obviously, and we brought up a little bit. You said some Guinness World Records. So what's the backstory? What made you want to even consider attempting something like this? Because that's a crazy thing to do, just in general.
Yeah, it was a big decision, but I think, you know, what I had done after I was so excited making the playoffs in 2021, and I had gone to the last 4 games that season, and I went to the playoff game as well. And I really expected us to be good in 2022, and I thought we were going to make the playoffs. And I decided more people, it was what we just talked about, seeing those people from the Midwest or the South at games that live there. I just thought, like, more people should see this, right? So the first thing I did was I started documenting games. And in 2022, I went to all 17 games, and I was trying to document the night before party in every city, the tailgate, and so on. Mm-hmm. And I ended up, you know, I did that 1 year, and I just felt like, gosh, I don't want to stop. So I ended up doing it 3 years in a row. There was a point at which I had a streak of 59 consecutive Raider games. And there was, at some point during that 3-year run, I had seen a Facebook post, a picture of a guy that had broken this record for the fastest time to attend a game at every NFL stadium. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Like, let me just put that in my memory bank, because that's something I might want to do.
Yeah.
After the 2024 season, when we went 4-13, I had done every Raider game for those 3 seasons and a little bit of 2021. So there was like 3.5 seasons I had gone to every Raider game. And I just thought, you know, 4-13 is pretty bad, and I don't know that we're going to be any better next year. And I was right. But I just thought I want to do something else, because I had gone to a couple of drafts, and it was starting to build relationships with other fan bases as well. You know, like, I love the Raiders. That was my first love. Then I fell in love with Raider Nation. And then as I get to know more people from other fan bases, there's really like a NFL community in addition to like Raider Nation community, right? Yeah. So I just thought I'm gonna expand this. I think this is the time I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to go for that fastest time to attend a game in every stadium. So that's 32 games I was planning on going to. But after I had applied for that record, I stumbled across, on the Guinness website, I stumbled across the other record, which was the most games in a season, just straight up most game, any game. It could be any game, right? And I thought, wow, so most game, okay. And that record was only 33. And I was thinking, hang on, if I go for this one record, the fastest time, that's 32 games. I only need a couple more to beat the other record as well. Right. And I was planning on doing the fastest time plus some Raider games. I think originally I was going to do like 39 games. And there was a point I was like, wait, if I'm going to do this, if I'm really going to do this, why stop at 39? Why not just do as many as I can? And so I said, okay, fine. I'm going to do 56. That's how many days on which there was an NFL game in the US, and I went to all 56 of them. I don't know how I made it to all 56. I thought for sure there'd be a flight cancellation, some weather issues, something. But yeah, no, I did it all 56 games, and it was incredible.
It was the autumn wind. It was the perfect storm right there for you, man.
It was.
Yeah, Eric, the football gods were definitely in your favor, and I'm sure Trey wants to know this just like the chat, and I want to also. Will you be running it back? Will you try to run it back?
I'm not trying to do 56 again for sure.
Oh,
I did look at the schedule though, and this year there's actually more days available. Somebody could do 59 games if they were so inclined. So there's like, because that Thanksgiving Eve game and then Christmas is on a Friday. So there's 2 weekends that have 5 days of football this year. And last year there weren't any with 5 days. So there's a couple extra games here and there. So somebody could do 59 this year. Yeah, but it's not going to be me. I'm not going to run that back. It's just it was hard. Like, I think there's sometimes people get really focused on how much it costs, and that's understandable because it was significant. But the thing that people don't realize is how physically draining it was. And I was trying to save costs, right? So a lot of people we think of football weekends as Thursday to Monday. So you think, okay, so you fly out Thursday and come back Monday or Tuesday morning. No, I would actually, because I realized that staying in a hotel for every single night from Thursday to, Tuesday morning was way more expensive. And so what I would do is I'd take a red eye on Wednesday night. Most of the game, a lot of games in the East Coast because there's so many teams there, but I take a red eye on Wednesday night, land in the city on Thursday, go to the tailgate, go to the game, go back to the airport, sleep at the airport, and get on like a 6 a.m. flight back home. So I would just go and come back for the Thursday game. And then Saturday, I would do the same thing. I'd take a red eye Saturday, but then I'd stay in a hotel Sunday night and fly to whatever city, wherever the Monday night game was, and then come home Tuesday morning. But I slept in a lot of airports. I slept on a lot of planes to try to keep the costs down. And by the end of it, my whole body was like, my back was hurt, chairs, sleeping in floors and stuff. I gained like 15 pounds because of all the airport food and stadium food. I actually thought, maybe I'll get fit. I'll be running around all over the place, but it was just such crap food. It was like, it was bad.
That's actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. It totally slipped my mind. I'm glad you mentioned that. Since you've been into all the stadiums, where would you say probably what stadiums had like the best like stadium food and who had the worst? Like, you can, whether it be top 3, top 5, whatever you'd like to say.
Yeah, listen, I feel bad because I get that question a lot and I can't give it a good answer. There's this guy that I met along the journey is what is it? Dude Loves Food ATL. He's from Atlanta. He went to a game at every stadium last year. And so he went to like 30 or maybe 32 games, but he went there with the sole mission of trying food and vlogging or, posting about the food. I didn't do that. I mean, there were some stadiums I didn't eat because I had just like gotten into town. I ate at the airport and was like getting to the stadium quickly. There's some stadiums. I remember I was in Green Bay and I was just like, I just got to grab something. I grabbed a hot dog, and I think the stadiums, they all have the basics: pizza, hot dog, fries, burgers. It's all the same stuff, right? So it's like you got to go beyond that to find their specialties, and you got to put time into it, researching. You also have to pay for it, right? And you're only going to really have one thing. You're not going to try 5 different things, right? You're not going to pay all that money. I just was so focused on the mission, and I also was I made it harder on myself because I was trying to vlog the whole thing. So every game I was filming in the stadium and trying to edit video and put it out the next day. So I just didn't have time to think about food. And it's terrible because that's like the main thing that everybody wants to know is which stadium has the the best food? And I really can't answer it. I ate a lot of bad food along the way, to be honest.
Yeah, but hey, in the end, it was worth it. You're a part of the history books, and what a way to wrap up the journey. You actually did the accomplishment at the end, in my opinion. That as a Raider fan, like being a diehard fan of the team, like that's honestly one of the greatest honors you could possibly have as a Raider fan. Being able to light up the Al Davis Memorial Torch like that,
Yeah,
was special, man.
that's the biggest. I can't think of anything bigger than that. And it was extremely humbling. You know, the way that came about was initially at training camp. I just approached Sandra and Sandra Douglas Morgan, the president. I just approached her, and she was kind of aware of me. We've met a few times, and she was aware. But I explained to her what I was trying to do, and she looked at me funny, like, "This guy's crazy. What are you doing?" I had to explain it to her a couple of times, but she said, "Well, that sounds pretty big. Maybe we should do something. If you do achieve this, maybe we should do something in the stadium to acknowledge it." And the thought of lighting the torch is there, but I really figured it was going to be like just put me
shout out or something.
Yeah, maybe I'm on screen for 3 seconds waving like this, or
even that would be special. Like even
I would have been all for it, sure. But then then right after that, I started the journey, and I realized I had given her a card, but I realized, oh shoot, I didn't really have a way to get back in touch, so I didn't know if something was going to happen. I had a couple of contacts at the Raiders, and I sent an email just kind of saying, I talked with Sandra, and they put me in touch with the entertainment team, and there's a guy, Justin Casserly. He's an awesome guy. He's very nice. He just kind of by email throughout the season, he would just say, okay, well, check in with me in 4 weeks. So a month would go by, and I'd just kind of say, this is where I am. There was a moment where I passed the most game, because the record for the most games in a season was 33, and I went to 56. So there's a point a little over halfway where I actually beat that record unofficially, because I still had to submit all the evidence to Guinness. But, it's like this game right now, I'm passing the record. So I'd send him an update, and he eventually said, get back to me in mid-December. And I did, right? Yeah. But I didn't really hear anything. And it was actually after week 17, I was at a Monday night game, and I flew home that morning super early. I was really tired. I got to LAX, and I was on a bus from LAX to home, because that was one of the Guinness rules. I was not allowed to drive, and I couldn't have anybody drive me. I could take a taxi, I could take an Uber, but I couldn't have my wife pick me up or drive me to the airport.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I think it's like a safety issue, and they don't want people driving around to stadiums going all crazy. And there are a few stadiums that are close enough that if you could drive, you could do it. But since you can't drive, you have to do public transportation. So normally you can't do 2 games in one day. There's a few that you could, but not many. Anyway, so I'm in a bus full of people in LA, and the Raiders called, and I was so tired, but obviously I was going to answer that call. So when I got on, they invited me. There were 2 guys on, Justin and Brad, and they when they invited me, I really kind of broke down a little bit. I was tearing up a little because I was so exhausted. It'd been 4 months, every Thursday, Sunday, Monday for 4 months, and I was so exhausted. And for them to offer that was just like, oh my God. It's just really to have it end like that, it was just unbelievable.
Yeah, that's the opportunity of a lifetime. And like I had mentioned earlier, before we went live off camera, man, you're one of the OGs, one of the YouTube OGs doing this, man. So as a fan of your content, watching to see that happen for you, bro, like that was special. Like I shed a few thug tears for you, because it's like, as a Raider fan,
That's
like
awesome.
that's one of like the biggest moments possible. And to see one of our own, like I said, one of Raider Nation's royal members, like get that accomplishment, like that was special. Like that was cool.
Thank you, man.
Cool.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe a lot later down the line, we see other guys like my guy TJ, Samoa Raider, or some other icons in the fan base that have big like that. Shoot, maybe one day BTB. Maybe we could have.
There you go.
One day.
There you go.
That would be special. But yeah, man, we're close to that hour 50 mark. I know my guy Trey. I see you getting tired over there. It's already past midnight on the East Coast.
Yeah. Well, here, let me show you one of these. I don't know if you could see that, or if it's too bright.
Oh yeah. Let me
There's
see if I can
2 certificates that that I got from Guinness.
Yeah.
A little reflection, but yeah, I gotta hang them. I haven't hung them yet.
Yeah, I love Mr. Raider. Shout out Timmy for sure. But if I were you, I'll be flexing that shoot right there, front and center, right behind. That'll be something big because that's a huge accomplishment. And before we wrap things up, actually, one last question. What would you say would be top three favorite stadiums you had attended?
Yeah. Well, I'm a bit of a homer, so I'm going to say Allegiant, obviously, right? Yeah. So I'll put that at number one. But listen, after that, I really loved Minnesota, Minneapolis. Yeah. That US Bank Stadium is very cool. Like half of the ceiling is glass. One of the walls is glass, kind of like ours. They've got this huge horn, and I always forget what it's called, that they blow. They've got their whole skull chant. It was just a good vibe. The city was great too. That factors in a little bit because like the public transportation was super easy. And I'm thinking about during this off season, I think I'm going to do a series of videos that really just tries to explain to people how to attend a game at these stadiums. And I'm going to start with the Raiders away game. So, like going to MetLife, we play the Jets this year. We play at SoFi. We play at obviously Denver, KC, but New Orleans. What's it like going to a game there? I'm going to try to put out some videos to help Raider fans specifically, but anybody going to a game if these could watch it. But Minneapolis is up there. And then, the one that I think is most underrated is Lucas Oil in Indy. It's
Indy? Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's not one of these new flashy stadiums, right? Like Allegiant, Minneapolis, SoFi, they're like flashy, they're modern. And I think more stadiums like Buffalo, they got their new one this year. Tennessee's going to have a new one next year, and it's going to look more modern. And you've seen some renderings for like KC, DC, and Chicago, and all of them, they're going towards this very modern look, right? But Indy is a bit older, but it's really, really cool. It's like all brick and it's super tall.
Yeah.
And like the windows, the way the light comes through, it's like a cool vibe and their concourses are decorated very well too with like NASCAR stuff. And
I actually do like the brick aesthetic that Lucas Oil Stadium has. And maybe it's the former Hooper in me, but it kind of reminds me of like I'm not sure everywhere if it has it, but like in LA, we have a lot of like rec centers where people go to like, play 5-on-5 and stuff. It gives me the vibe of like a rec center, but for football. And like it's cool, like knowing like that's where the combine's held every year.
Yeah, that's right.
Like that's where everybody goes to like work out and show like basically audition for their future job opportunity.
And even like the rafters, the way that's designed, you forget to look up sometimes, but when you're in an indoor stadium, you look up, it's like the way all these rafters are crisscrossing. It was very cool. I do got to do a shout out to Lambeau because that's the one where, I don't think it's the best, but it's the one that you immediately feel nostalgic, even if you're not a Packers fan. You just feel the history and the way it's nestled in this neighborhood. Like it's just sitting in the middle of houses. But it's super old, but it's very well kept. It looks clean. It looks nice. I don't know if you know this, but the entire bowl, there's no seats. It's all bleachers all the way around.
Really?
Yeah. You don't get seats until you get up into like the suites, right? But the whole bowl is bleachers, which it's good and bad. It's good because it's fun and it's old school and but it's bad because you don't have your own arm thing or drink holder. You got a number on the bench that you have to sit on, and people don't sit on their number. They sit a little, so people get crammed a little bit, but they pack it. And, when it gets cold, they're all like bundled together and sitting on pads because that metal's too cold. But yeah, that's a very cool one to check out just because of the history behind it.
Yeah, I definitely have to. That's one stadium I definitely have on the goal list to hit. Another one, I don't know why, even though it brings bad memory just because they beat us in the Super Bowl when I was a kid, but I've always wanted to see that stadium in Tampa. Like, I don't know why, like the pirate ship aesthetic, like that looked kind of crazy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, that one would be an interesting one to go see.
It is cool. The end zones, some stadiums have seats all the way around, and some stadiums have like entertainment things in the end zones. Like we've got the Wind Club and the Torch and that whole area. But yeah, that pirate ship, and even on the opposite side, it's just kind of a big party. It's just open, and you just kind of walk around. It's not seats. It's like there's a little plateau there. And Jacksonville too. Now the Jacksonville Stadium is terrible because it's completely under construction and it's awful. But in the end zone, it's a party atmosphere, and they actually have swimming pools that people are in during the game.
Oh wow, that's
So
nice.
it's that part of it's kind of cool, and I think once they renovate, it'll be better. But I think the three worst were probably Jacksonville 3 because it's a construction zone. It looks like a war zone, really. Washington D.C., their stadium is terrible and it's old and it's way outside of the city. Yeah, exactly.
I went there this year too. Yeah.
Oh, that is rough. But the worst one, honestly, I hate to say it, Soldier Field is terrible. And it's
Really?
terrible because you think like, oh, this is Soldier Field. And from the outside, it's like, oh, this is cool. I'm finally here at Soldier. But when you go inside, it's like they built a stadium inside of a stadium, and all the navigation pathways are choke points and weird. And there's like you're on one level, but there's a level in between the two levels, and it's just so weird. And the where I was sitting, I was looking forever for a restroom. I finally asked an employee, like, "Where's the restroom?" They said, "Sorry, you got to go down to the next level and use the restroom there."
Wow.
And I was like, "What are you talking about?" So the restrooms were packed and old and gross, and Chicago needs a new stadium. They need a new stadium. It's awful.
Okay, good to know. I was gonna say that was one of the stadiums besides Lambeau that I got to see, but yeah, never mind that.
I'm not saying
like
don't
the new
go. Like you gotta, you gotta judge for yourself. There's some redeeming qualities such as the fan base and so on and so forth. But navigating it's pretty rough. It's old. It's time. It's time, Chicago.
Lambeau and Nashville for me. I want
Yeah.
to see Nashville. I want to see the Titan Stadium.
Their current
I-
stadium is just a stadium. It's kind of boring. Like I didn't hate it, but it's also kind of boring. And they have these silly little like fake buildings in the end zone that looks kind of like a cheesy. It's not even Disneyland. It's like Knott's Berry Farm, and but the city, like going down Broadway the night before, and oh my God, the music venues and everybody's just out there partying and drinking. My wife and I went together, and that was one of the most. It wasn't last year. This was a few years ago when we played there. That was a very fun trip. One of the most fun trips that I've had in the past, 4 years. But it was more the city than the stadium and the game.
Gotcha.
Right on. Yeah, shoot. Another stadium. Another one I really need to attend, and I'm shocked I haven't yet. It's pretty close. It's not in the state of California, but I have family out there. Is Seattle. I've been really wanting to see Seattle Stadium. I really want to see it because I heard like the energy, like the vibes for games there is special. A couple of my buddies actually went when Josh had that big 300-yard all-purpose game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Man, they told me too, like, come on, bro, get a ticket, like fly out here, let's go. And I contemplated it. I regret it now. Like, man,
that walk-off was insane.
Yeah. Were you in attendance for that one?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus. That's dope. That's dope.
That was crazy.
We're getting close to that 2-hour mark. Before we wrap things up, Trey, you got any last question you want to ask our special guest?
Yeah, going off of what you just asked, like you said the Charger game, and then of course the Josh Jacobs game. What's like a third game that you've been to that was like you had to be there? You just had to be there.
Yeah, I would say I don't know if the whole game was great, but the ending of that Chandler Jones Patriots game was something I just had never seen before. Because you remember they were trying to do the whole Hail Mary, like lateral. They were trying to win the game. And when it was Jacoby Myers too, the funny thing, but he threw that back and out of nowhere. And people forget this, but we still, that year, that was 2022, that actually kept us in the playoff run. And we were still there in the playoff run. And even when I think the next week we went to Pittsburgh and lost on Christmas Eve, we still weren't eliminated. We weren't eliminated until we lost in overtime to the Niners on New Year's Day. But so it kept this like, maybe there's a chance. Maybe this is like 2021 again. Because remember, we had to win 4 games in a row to get into the playoffs. And I thought, hey, maybe we do this again, So there was a lot behind that Chandler Jones play and that win. And I got a little emotional because that was my first year doing all 17 games. And like, it just felt like, I wanted those wins. That was pretty crazy.
And that's the beauty of it. Like I'm sure you've seen so you've seen obviously nail biter games, and you've seen blowouts. Now, what would you prefer as a Raider fan? Like when you see us, like would you rather see us in a blowout win, or would you rather see like those nail biters? Like also being the a fan and also a vlogger, a content creator. How what
Yeah,
intrigues you more?
but the thing is blowouts are boring, right?
Yeah,
But at the same time, the close games are really hard on your body and your heart and your emotional state. So, like, I want to say closer games are better, but in a close game, you run the risk of losing it, right? So if you
yeah,
blow them out every time, you feel good about how great your team is, and But those close games, man, it's there's nothing like it. It's pretty exciting. It's exciting.
yeah,
So I do prefer the close ones, assuming that we win.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that 100%. 100%. Well, we've reached that 2 hour mark. Brian, it's been an honor and a pleasure
Yeah.
having you on the show with us, man. We really appreciate you for joining us. Before we wrap things up, is there anything you'd like to shout out? Any events or anything you have going on, or even your social media handles?
Yep, you can find me all in Autumn Wind across all platforms. I just want to say thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. During the off season, it gets a little tough. I feel down a little bit because there's not enough action going on. But it's connections like these that really make it work. And honestly, that whole Guinness run I had, it didn't take me long at the beginning of the season. I was so focused on schedules and flights and logistics, but I very quickly within the first week or two realized this entire journey was about people. And I felt Raider Nation the entire way. Like the support from Raider fans was just unbelievable. So thank you to the nation, and thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We really appreciate you and all the good content you put out. Because also, you give us the mindset too of feeling comfortable knowing like if we go somewhere like okay there are some fans that are pretty chill like it's definitely not like Oakland where or somewhere else where we're super rowdy when it comes to other fans coming to our house like
Yeah,
like it's cool like the vibes are cool in other places.
that's right. And a lot of it's what you bring into it too.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that
Agreed.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been a special one. I don't want to take too much of your time. We appreciate you most definitely, and who knows? Maybe this season we may see you at a game, and we definitely
I
got to.
love that.
Yes, sir. We'll definitely have to tap in with you this season.
Nice. See you
Yeah.
soon.
Yes, sir. We
Yeah, for
appreciate you,
sure.
Brian. Thank you so
Yes,
much,
sir.
sir.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys.
All right, take care, man. Trey, wow, we had a legend on the show, bro.
Yeah, man.
I'm still in disbelief about that, bro. Like
I'm mad that my computer started tripping and it
I see
died.
that.
So I missed a little bit. I'm gonna go back and watch it, but that was a legendary show, man. And to
Yeah,
hear some of the stories that he told about the stadiums and like his game experiences too.
yeah,
That was big, bro.
yeah, and
You don't want to put levels on shit, but like that's up there with guests we didn't have, bro.
I agree.
That's up
I
there.
agree for sure, definitely, and we got a lot more on the way, y'all. We got a lot more on the way, and before we really say what we gotta say to wrap things up. Shout out our guy Prez in the background, bro. Prez, hey, wasn't for our guy Prez working overtime, bro. Who knows if this episode would have been able to happen? Because some of us, we're busy with the content, we're busy with our everyday life. So shout out Prez for being on top of it, making sure like to follow up and make sure everything was all good.
Yeah,
I appreciate
yeah.
y'all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate
we
you.
we,
Yeah,
we, we
bro.
always working towards around something, but we got big things coming this way this year, at least maybe before the season, but definitely during the season. We got a fantastic lineup in the development. But stay tuned. Like I said,
Oh yeah.
subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Mike's channel, subscribe to Trey's channel. It's free.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. It don't cost much. All it costs is a little love and support to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and show some love. So matter of
It's
fact,
all it costs. Two of them.
yeah, yeah, just a couple buttons. Oh, and if you could, a little extra, maybe the extra one for that notification button. If you're really feeling what you're hearing, then hit that like button, hit that subscribe button for all channels. My channel, Trey's channels. Matter of fact, also of course Brian's. If you haven't yet, if this is your first time getting familiar with Brian and All In Autumn Win, make sure you tune in. He vlogs all season long for the Raider games. What the tailgates, the pre parties, the after parties. My guy is outside, really outside, like showing love to the nation. So if you get a chance to meet him, make sure to show some love to the channel. But Trey, before we wrap things up, shoot, this is your moment, bro. Let the people know where to find you.
Man, you already know. Y'all can find me right here on the Black Team Broadcast. You can follow me at Trey Majors on Twitter. You can follow me at King540 on Instagram. And like Mike said, man, follow the channel, Raider Trey 540. Follow Brian's channel, man. As you can see, you're gonna get some good content, man. Follow my man Mike Prez. Follow all the guys, man, and just keep tapping in with us. We're gonna be on different shows, and just make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe so you will know when we about to come pop on, man. Turn that notification bell on. Put it on all. Put it on all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Most definitely. And like my guy Trey said, you will definitely see us on multiple shows, different shows besides BTB. Of course, next week we will have another very special guest in the building. I won't go into detail just yet. We'll lead up to that. We'll lead up to the excitement and let people enjoy this moment, because not only for us was this a special moment, but for the fans. Like we want to provide quality content on a weekly basis for you guys, because it's been tough. I know, especially we're excited right now. We got a lot of free agents in the building. We just drafted a quarterback, new head coach, so we excited to see them get there. But it's going to take a little time before we get to week 1, September, or even the preseason game. So we're going to do our best to put out that quality content on a weekly basis. Now tomorrow, make sure y'all tap in tomorrow, Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm live with my dog, Raider Rundown. We back with blunts and breakdowns, another episode. I'm a little jet lagged right now, so I don't remember exactly what players we're breaking down, but we definitely gonna break down some stuff, and we're gonna get into it. We might even break down OTAs a little bit more. But yeah, make sure you tap in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button on Black Team Broadcast on YouTube or Machiavelli 24, my personal channel. You could also follow me on Twitter at the Machiavelli, THEE Machiavelli, or Instagram as well, Machiavelli 24. But yeah, man, we appreciate everybody that tapped in with us this episode. This is a very special episode, and there's a lot more on the way. Till next time, we appreciate everybody. Good night, y'all. Peace.